You're listening to DraftKings Network.
At Chieng University, we've been empowering students to pursue their goals for over 130 years. From innovative degree programs and helpful tools to campus locations focused on creating community for international students, we can help you find your way forward. We even offer international students 25% off tuition on select degree programs. Visit strayer.edu to learn more. Eligibility rules, restrictions, and exclusions apply. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
I would say that, generally speaking, it has been a rough and haggard couple of years for Stugotz. However, moments ago, 30 minutes ago, I saw him beaming and radiant, at least in part, I'm assuming, because he had to search the internet, scour the internet for Tony Campbell's stats from 1990. And what did you discover as we were talking about the Terry Rozier trade and how easy it is to be a looter and a riot, a guy who gets his numbers on a bad team? What did you discover when you went into the Tony Campbell files?
Tony Campbell averaged 11.6 points per game for his career. The year you're talking about, 1990, he averaged 23.6 points per game. Their team was 29-53. The 23.6 points per game were more than James Worthy and Magic Johnson per game.
Okay, so that is what the Heat have acquired. Put it on the poll, please, Juju. Did the Heat just acquire James Worthy and Magic Johnson? At Le Batard Show, will Spo be able to coach Terry Rozier up so that what looked like a loser in Charlotte will look like a winner here? Because what I watched last night, Stugotz, the top of basketball, Jimmy Butler has been this for many years, but what was mesmerizing to me about last night, Stugotz, because I still, when I'm watching Jokic against Greek Freak or Jokic against Embiid, I'm still confused by it because those skill sets are so foreign to me. Embiid, I've been telling you for a while, and you guys have been laughing at me, that I think that everything that's in that package could seem like top 5 player of all time, kind of dominant. But you have to win big in order to do that. And he knows that, which is why, Stugotz, when he scores 70 in a regular season game, he is now at the standard, not good enough, don't care. I know you guys are doubting me because I have to play in the playoffs with a mask and I'm hurt and I flop around and you don't think I'm actually this great. You think in the playoffs I'm going to fold it up. But when I saw him play against Jokic, it was really confusing to me, Stugotz, to watch somebody be clearly better than Jokic while playing against Jokic.
He was clearly better than Jokic?
Am I?
He's not.
No, but in the game. In the game.
That night he was.
Last week when they played each other, he was better than Jokic.
Last week, Jokic overtook Michael Jordan for the greatest player efficiency rating in NBA history.
But not the greatest player.
He's number one.
We're clear.
Well, just so we're clear, Jokic is number 1, Michael Jordan is number 2, and LeBron James is number 3 in player efficiency rating, all-time NBA right now.
He had a night, I was checking out box scores, I think it was over the weekend, where he had 42 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, and I breezed right past it.
And if you want to challenge everything that you think you know about basketball, Karl Anthony Towns is 18th all time.
Oh, but you say that. Look,
ahead of Karl Malone.
Mike.
The mailman.
Mike, Hoop Hype's global rating has Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the best player in the league the first half of the season, period. But you will find some curious names on that list when you get to 8 and 12 and 16. I think Sabonis is in the top 6. So the way that we're doing some of the metrics on this stuff can be confusing to people. But let's just examine what it is that happened last night because, Stugotz, I'm telling you, in the game where Embiid played against Jokic, and Embiid knows that's the standard. That's the guy I'm playing for MVP. Everyone knows this. He outplayed him. And last night after Pop dares to say before the game that we're going to hammer his ass, he goes for 70. So this is what I want to play for you first. Think about the compliment, Stugotz, that it is when Kevin Durant Kevin Durant, all-time scorer, is informed after his game last night when he had a game winner, Stugotz, that very few people in the history of the league can make. He's informed that Embiid just went for 70.
Brandon, I don't know if you saw Joel Embiid score 70. Cat had 60.
70?
Yeah, Joel had 70 today.
58 through 3.
He has 70?
Yeah. So what did nights like tonight mean in the NBA?
Suspiciously dark hair.
Yes.
What are you saying?
I don't know.
What are you alleging?
Mike's an expert. I mean,
Just I hadn't seen him in a while, and good for him.
Let's play again.
Looks
Just
good.
look at the childish wonder on his face, Stugotz, as if he's saying to you, "Wait a minute, Embiid did in an NBA game what I did at Rucker Park. What are you talking about? Let me look at this reaction. It's innocent and charming. The person who's having this
I
reaction."
don't know if you saw Joel Embiid score 70. Cat had 60.
70?
Yeah, Joel had 70 today.
58 through 3.
He has 70?
Yeah. So what did nights like tonight mean in the NBA?
That guy giving you awe? That guy? Let's play Embiid here, though, Stugotz, because I do find also interesting that he is saying, I know none of this matters, too. I know you guys are going to hyperventilate about this, but I've got to do this in playoff games.
You and Michael Jordan, the only NBA players to put up 65 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists in a game. What does that mean to you? You and MJ, baby.
Wilt never did this?
No, sir. Just
you and MJ. How crazy is that?
I don't believe that. Although, some of those, Wilt records, we still got to see. But I'm sure Wilt, he's done it at some point.
Oh, he's done it all right.
But he hasn't.
I think you might be talking about two different things.
20,000 times Wilt did it.
I came in last week after that game you've been talking about, Dan, between Jokic and Embiid, and I asked a question. I wanted to put it up as a topic. How am I supposed to watch Joel Embiid? Because he's so magical to watch, and 70 points last night. He's so skilled. He's arguably the most entertaining player to watch in the league at this point. But the issue is that until he wins, there's not really any validation for it. And I actually tend to agree with that too, because as covering someone that's all about like championship or bust, and
Embiid agrees with you.
It's so difficult to know how to just enjoy watching it. So Kevin Durant really did bring me a lot of joy there, as like, oh, right, we can just enjoy these types of performances and enjoy the artists at work, because that's what Embiid is at this point in his career, is a guy who's going to win multiple MVPs. The question is, will he win the championship?
Let me, real quick, just show you, Stugotz, the end of the game last night in Phoenix when Kevin Durant is hitting the game winner. For those of you just listening via audio, know that Kevin Durant is moving to his left, away from the basket, and Bulls defense is coming toward him, and Caruso is coming toward him. The way that Kevin Durant makes that game winner, show that again, where clearly he is covered here. Caruso is trying not to. Caruso's a very good perimeter defender, barely misses the ball, but only misses the ball because Durant is moving the ball because he feels him. And so that shot made in that situation, when it's hard to get those shots at the end of game.
That's incredible. The movement of the ball is absolutely incredible in midair. If he only did it in the finals.
He did.
Well, I mean, according to you.
And fact.
Oh, well. Wilt did that.
In history, he did that. Here's what I have failed to do today, and I'm sorry, because of my obsession with the basketball things that happened last night.
It was a big night in the association.
It was, but here's the problem. Lucy has not been involved in today's show because she is in her 80s garb, and all she wants to talk about is not Kevin Love. It's love on a spectrum. She is so bored by what it is that we're doing because she believes that she has found a form of entertainment better than the one that pays her here to sit for 2 hours listening to us chew on basketball.
I'm not bored. I just wouldn't say I'm having fun necessarily. Also, the hairstyle, really fun, really cute, starting to give me a little bit of a headache because it's pulling all my hair to the side and then the headband, but it's okay. We persevere through because I found my new show, and it's Love on the Spectrum on Netflix, and it is the most just feel-good, wholesome show on TV right now. They've already had a season out. The second season just came out where they focus on people who are on the spectrum and how they're entering the dating world. And it is just it is so wholesome. It is so sweet, and it's really, really good. And I recommend you guys all watch it.
I've seen that show advertised, and I saw Down for Love advertised, and I was a little bit concerned with what the show would be and if they were taking advantage of people. So you're saying it's not that?
No, it's very there's never any moment where it feels like it's disrespectful or trying to make fun of anyone. It's genuinely just wow, this is an insight I didn't have before. And it's great entertainment because you're 5 seconds into meeting these people who all agree to be on the show, and you're rooting for them so much to find love. And it's just it is so sweet, and you catch yourself just feeling so good. I watched it for 5 hours yesterday, and I was the happiest I've ever been. And I'm wearing 80s stuff right now. I was happier then than right now.
One of the most popular comedians anywhere in America right now, Shane Gillis, is able to navigate this line with humor here in ways that are allowed today because he is trafficking in. There is such a buoyant happiness around people who are afflicted, who also deserve love. Shane Gillis has helped humanize, because I believe he's got this, I believe he's got some of this in his family history. And there is a line here between exploitation of something and making this charming. And you're telling me that this is just universally charming.
So growing up, I did a ton of work just within my school and my community with Down syndrome students who went to my school. So you learn what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, and it is so perfect, and it never feels disrespectful. It's just a very it honestly is great if you're not super used to interacting with people in this community, because you're able to get an insight into their lives, and it's really it's so tastefully done. It never feels disrespectful of any way, and the whole time you are just so actively rooting for all of these people. It is such a feel-good show.
Is it because the happiness is so innocent? It's not polluted by any of the human frailties that wreck the rest of us.
Yeah, it's just so sweet when you're seeing someone who's so there's one guy on the show who loves swords. He loves swords so much, and it's so sweet to see people talk about their interests.
Billy, a kindred spirit, Billy.
I might be in.
Billy, you might be dating. you might leave your wife for a real soulmate.
Stugotz here from my friends over at Simply Safe. Been telling you about them for years. Why? I have had their home security system in my house for many, many years, protecting both me and my family. I would not recommend anyone else. In fact, they were named Best Home Security of 2023 by U.S. News and World Report. Simply Safe is comprehensive protection for the whole home, detecting and alerting you not only to break-ins, but fires, floods, and other threats to your home, getting you the help you need. Simply Safe prioritizes your privacy. That's why their indoor security cameras are the only ones on the market with physical privacy shutters to ensure your privacy 24/7. Try Simply Safe for 60 days, risk-free. If you don't love it, return your system for a full refund. Keep your home and family safer than ever in the new year. As a listener, you can save 20% on your new system with Fast Protect monitoring by visiting simplysafe.com/DLB. Customize your system in just minutes. That's simplysafe.com/DLB. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Dan Le Batard.
Kensley Jansen. I got to be careful here. What did I just do there? Let me start again.
Stugotz.
He's the closer. Comes in, ninth inning, closes the game out. His name is Kenley Jansen. He has blamed his recent...
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
We're presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports. Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code DAN, because life is more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Agent eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Taylor is now out in the field, and we are debuting a new segment. It's going to be kind of loud. It's going to be kind of fast. It's going to be kind of crazy. Taylor's on a cigarette boat of some sort. Where are you, Taylor, right now?
Boat.
Taylor, where are you?
We are on the Thriller from Bayside. I'm trying to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and what better way to do it than being with a bunch of tourists out here.
All right, I just heard what
We are flying.
What it sounded like was it was a Himalaya operator. How fast are you going right now? How fast are you going?
I can't see the captain, but I would guess about 85, 90 miles per hour. We are moving right now.
All right, how fast does it go? What's the maximum speed of that boat?
I'm looking at it, pushing triple digits.
Okay, so this segment, in order to capitalize on the Taylor Swift algorithm, this segment is meant to give takes as quickly as you can. You're looking at your phone. Do not lose your phone. How scared are you? Why are you bent down so lowly?
Very scared. The wind is whipping in my face.
We don't know how long this signal will last. This is the first ever broadcast for us on a cigarette boat. So, Taylor, begin your Swift report.
I want to give the Detroit Lions their flowers. Dan Campbell gets the headlines for turning around this team, but general manager Brad Holmes deserves a lot of credit for turning Detroit around through the draft and getting them back in the NFC Championship for the first time since 1991, 3 years before I was even born. Looking back to the first draft class assembled by Campbell and Holmes in 2021, the Lions had 7 picks. Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown were first-team All-Pros this season. Derek Barnes had the game-winning interception against Tampa. Fatu Melifonwu
more swiftly
had 1.5 sacks in the divisional round. And Ali McNeil had the highest defensive grade. My phone is shaking. I'm trying to read. I can't read. Fast forward to this draft. Aiden Hutchinson. And Aiden Hutchinson went 2. Jameson Williams
Sit
went
up.
12.
Sit up. More wind in your face. Be careful.
He's just reading stats.
More wind in your face.
In the last exactly 4 games, Jameson Williams was coming off a torn ACL.
Whoa!
That was more of a long-term projection. He was coming off an ACL injury. They were using him as a deep threat next to St. Brown. And then you look at this past Detroit draft class.
More wind in your face.
More wind in your contributions. This tweet from Benjamin Solak against the Bucks. The Lions leading in reception. It was Sam Laporta, their leading rusher. Jahmyr Gibbs, the leading tackler. Brian Branch, all rookies. One article I saw from NFL.com this past April had the Lions as the worst grade in that draft with a C+. The only team that got a C, but you're looking at the Lions now, and you're getting major contributions. They wanted them to take Jalen Carter at 12, but the Lions instead listened to their evaluations, and they didn't listen to the people
more
saying,
swiftly. You're going slower the more comfortable you are.
You're going slow.
Faster.
You don't draft the running back in the first round. And Jahmyr Gibbs is explosive, and he's game-changing, and he has great change of direction. And can Detroit get to the Super Bowl? That's the question. The only thing standing between them and the Super Bowl is Brock Purdy.
Faster.
This is not your father's Detroit Lions team.
Wow.
This is the part where he's going towards Star Island, and we're going to see the Estefan's houses. Because they live next to each other in separate houses. Did you know that?
I'm also afraid of open water.
He averaged more points than Bernard King.
You're afraid of open water?
Yeah, I'm afraid of falling into open water.
Has it slowed down? It seems like it's slowed down some. I did not know the Estefans lived in separate houses.
I believe that's the story. So they have houses right next to each other, and I think that they've said they have the separate houses, but they're still married.
My dad was her insurance agent. Ooh, no one cares. I thought that was cool. Never mind.
What kind of insurance?
I believe it was like auto
bundle?
or her boat. I don't know, but she got in an
hope it wasn't
accident.
the boat.
So,
Taylor, is it over now? Is everything done?
It looks like we're coming through a manatee zone.
Okay, so does that mean we're going to? Does it mean we're going to speed up again? We just don't want to kill.
I think that's a Naval Academy behind you, or Coast Guard. Thank you for your service.
I believe we are going to speed up again.
All right, let's. Do you have another take, or is that? Would you like an? You know what? This one's not going to be read because you gave us a lot of stats. You need to explain. I'm going to wait for this boat to speed up.
He averaged more points than Scottie Pippen.
And as soon as it speeds up, I'm going to ask you a question, Taylor, that I think you've been waiting to receive the entirety of your broadcasting career. And when you dreamt of being this person that has a media career, you've wanted someone to ask for your opinion. on this. So as soon you tell me how it's speeding up. Where are we, Taylor, on the speed? Where are we right now?
We are speeding up. I'm going to try to not duck on this one.
Okay, so
get up and walk over to the tourists.
No, stay with your face up. But I need you now to tell me, Taylor, why you believe. How fast are we going? How fast right now?
We're picking up mid 60s.
All right, I want it to be a little faster.
Okay,
tell me when we get close to 100.
Okay, yeah.
We're close now to 100?
We're moving now.
Okay. Face up,
Yes.
I want you to explain to me, as swiftly as Taylor can, why the New York Knicks are now better than the Miami Heat.
We got OG Anunoby, baby. We're 9-2 since OG Anunoby. The team has the second highest defensive rating in that stretch. You might look at the record. They have a losing record against teams with winning records this year. That's neither here nor there. This New York team, we're buying in right now. Jalen Brunson, the last 4 games, is averaging over 30 points per game on higher than 52% from the field. This is the Knicks year. We're going faster to at least the conference finals. Zach Lowe said on NBA Today, don't be surprised if we wake up and the Knicks are in the conference finals.
Why are they better than the Heat? You told me why the Knicks are good. You haven't told me why they're better than the Heat. Faster.
Just look at the Heat's roster. I don't like anybody. I like Jaime Jaquez Jr. I was a big UCLA guy. They played Carolina. Rose almost just went down when they just turned that boat. That was a quick turn. But yeah, look at the Heat's roster. Nothing to be afraid of.
Dan, you're going swifter than Taylor right now.
I'm disappointed so far with Taylor's speed in general, the speed of how he's delivering things. We're going to let them slow down one time, and we're going to give him another chance at this, and he doesn't seem to understand he needs to be doing this swiftly.
He averaged more points than Larry Nance.
Mike, how do you feel so far about Taylor's audition to try and get more airtime instead of Jeremy and Billy?
Less Taylor, more Swift.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to put together another question here. Where are we on how much time we have left in the ride, Taylor?
I'll tell you from someone who's done this. This is the part where they kind of do a little sightseeing over by Star Island. Where you're going to want to get Taylor again is when they go out into open ocean, because then they really let it rip.
Okay, I'm going to let him go for a second, and maybe we will come back to that when we speed up. But let's think of the proper question to ask him so that we can get. This is going to be his last chance. He's playing for minutes here. He's trying to get some. I don't need to explain to the people. It's become a crowded room. There's not a lot of space. Everyone's fighting for minutes. Occasionally, we have a Karl Anthony Towns situation where people forget that Stugotz is Anthony Edwards, and all of a sudden you haven't heard from Stugotz for 3 segments because we keep feeding Karl Anthony Towns.
The check's still clear. But
I understand that that's what you've been doing for 2.5 years. We've all seen it.
A lot of voices, Dad.
Yes.
He averaged more points than Fat Lever.
We're going to get Taylor's best take and put maximum pressure on it in a segment. We're not going to do that right now. That water reminds me, though, of what I saw going viral yesterday that made me both happy and sad because Fyre Fest, Stugotz, is somehow making a new appearance.
That thing.
We are in the age of doesn't matter whether you're scandalous. Infamy is just as good as fame. And so I saw videos over open water that suggested that this scam that produced multiple documentaries about how it pays to be a scam artist is now making a new appearance, and in Miami is where it's happening. And of course it's happening in Miami. Look at this video, just people falling from helicopters because Fyre Fest returns. Fyre Fest 2 in green, beautiful ocean waters in Miami is just slick and beautiful people and bathing suits and influencers and sunshine.
And no lineup whatsoever yet announced or anything like that because it's not important. What's important is the visual.
It's all that matters. It's what pays and sells now. Jump from helicopters. This is how we're going to advertise Fyre Fest 2, a national and international shame that produced, again, multiple documentaries.
Is Ja Rule a part of this?
I don't see him in this video.
But Billy is.
Guys,
not Billy Gill.
Corbin?
Billy, the star of the documentaries?
Yeah. The guy that served a hard time because of scamming folks.
When you jump out of a helicopter into the ocean, I've never done this. You should just fall, right? Like the people that are jumping up to do a backflip seems like a bad idea when there's a blade spinning around over their heads, right?
I would say, generally speaking.
Also, someone was just on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it's in line with the branding.
Speaking of fire, because I've been wanting to get this video up for 2 days, and I don't know. I think maybe my skills of communication are deteriorating. I have wanted on the screen for 2 days video of a Buffalo Bills fan, a Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah, we covered that in the local while you were in the penalty box.
Yeah.
We can loop it if you'd like.
I would like to loop it because I can't get nearly enough of this video, which is wonderful when Billy wonders about people being on fire.
He averaged more points than Derek Coleman.
I don't know that I saw a funnier football video this year than this guy's ass on fire because he did a somersault into a folding table and then couldn't get his fiery ass extinguished after being wrestling flipped onto a table. I don't think we can do comedy better than this. This has been the Lions and the Bills for about 20 years. Maybe longer with the Lions. I want to give you guys a stat. Please keep that running in the corner for the remainder of the show. Stugotz, in the NFC, now that the Lions have made the NFC Championship game, you want to guess who these are? Everybody. I'll give everybody the guesses. In the NFC, only 2 teams have not made it to the NFC Championship game this century, now that the Detroit Lions have. Do we want to guess this century, since the year 2000, there are only 2 teams in the NFC who have not advanced that far?
This is easy. The Commanders, there you go.
That is 1.
The Cowboys?
That is 2.
What? Oh my God.
The Cowboys is a bit crazy.
Crazy.
The Cowboys have been awfully popular for 25 years without ever actually getting to the game that matters the most. That's crazy.
Don Le Batard.
And finally, Fruit Loops are all the same flavor, just different colors. I refuse to believe that.
Is that right?
I refuse to believe it. I mean, try the grapefruit loop and tell me that doesn't taste different than the cherry one, because it does. I love Fruit Loops.
Stugotz.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at Le Batard Show. Did you know that all of Fruit Loops were the same flavor, just different colors?
Refuse to believe it.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Stugotz, he is a correspondent for The Daily Show. He's an actor. He's a comedian. He's very funny. Ronny Chieng is with us, and I have to apologize to him on the front end because there are a number of things I want to talk to him about. He's got 2 Netflix stand-up specials out now. You can stream them. Speakeasy, An Asian Comedian Destroys America, and he's also traveling all over Florida right now. You can catch him live on his Love to Hate It tour. Fort Lauderdale, February 15th, February 16th in Tampa, February 17th in Orlando.
Why are you apologizing? Because you haven't done anything yet.
But I'm about to, though, because at some point during this conversation, we're going to go out to a cigarette boat, and I'm hoping that Taylor will join us to give us a sports take. Maybe Ronnie will ask him the question, and we can merge our 2 worlds that way. But, Ronnie, thank you for joining us, and I want to talk to you about The Daily Show because it's such a pioneering comedic show, and I don't understand why they don't have a host yet. And during the recent awards ceremony where Trevor Noah won something, you can hear and see Roy Wood behind Trevor Noah saying, hire a host. You can see him mouthing, hire a host. You guys must be so furious that they haven't hired a host yet, or maybe you're not because now they're going all correspondence and they're going to do it piecemeal.
I don't think I'm furious. It's kind of like the Daily Show is kind of like a family. So I can't imagine being furious at the show, especially because they gave me my big break in America. So furious, no, not furious. Hoping they'll find a host. I mean, I think we've been handling the show pretty well so far, without Trevor. I mean, remember, like, when Trevor left, that wasn't planned either, so they didn't have like much of a heads up either, I think.
Do I put you in a bad spot by asking you about it because corporate interests have sort of taken over all of these entities that are doing good work?
Well, you apologized on the front end, so I mean.
No, I'm telling you the truth. It's not corporate interest. They hired me onto the show from Australia, and Trevor was the one who gave me a big break, and everything that's great that's happened to me in America has been because of the Daily Show. So if you ask me, do I have hate in my heart for the Daily Show? Of course not. They're like my family. I don't know would be the equivalent for you? Would it be like ESPN, or would it be the Miami Herald, or the people who gave you your first shot and never, and always did right by you?
Oh, I understand what I understand what it is that you're saying. I would just, can you be grateful and also want your employer to be better? Can both of those things be so?
No, you cannot. You have to be just grateful.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Because
where I come from, you gotta show gratitude.
No, yeah, and that makes sense. It doesn't, and it's not just it's not just culturally. You'll be happier if you're someone who is grateful.
I think so.
And if you can make your living in comedy, which is a difficult way to make a living, I assume that you're walking around every day grateful that people pay to hear your jokes, hear you're funny. It's a ridiculous. Look, hold on a second.
Boy.
Hold on a second, Ronnie. So we're bringing in our speedboat here. We're going very fast again. Do you have a sports question of any kind, Ronnie, that you would ask our speedboat correspondent that you would want him to give you an answer to as fast as possible?
No.
Okay, I put you in a bad spot.
You apologized in advance.
Yes, I keep doing that, and now Taylor is going slow again. So, Taylor,
We're waking.
Okay, we're going faster now. Give me a second, Ronnie. Forgive me. They're asking me to spin a whole lot of plates now as we wait for this.
No one asked you to do this.
You asked
I can ask Ronnie a question. Big fan.
Okay, yeah, you ask Ronnie a question before the boat speeds up, Taylor. Go ahead, but ask it quickly.
Ronnie, what do you think the Chiefs have to do to beat the Bills this week?
They probably have to not get injured, and then they'll probably do it.
Yeah,
it's a good answer.
It's excellent football analysis. He's not wrong in any way at all. Ronnie, what do you make of the state of comedy at the moment? It seems to be in a more interesting place than at any time in your career.
I feel like it's. I feel like I'm doing the interview with the countdown on it. Okay. Because I'm looking at the guy on the boat, so I'm wondering how long I have to answer.
All right, well, he's going fast again, so now we have to ask
Taylor, same question.
Same question, Taylor. What do you make of the state of comedy right now?
Really not a good teammate. You're the faster who passes me the ball with 1 second on the shot clock.
Faster.
And expects me to do something, and then it's just a shot clock violation, and I'm just holding onto the ball, and the turnover goes to me.
You said nothing.
You've said nothing. The state of comedy, Taylor, quickly.
I like comedy.
There you have it.
He's killing it.
Ronnie, I'm sorry. You
why give two? Why give one bad answer when you can have two people giving bad answers?
My thoughts exactly, Ronnie.
The reason I ask you the question is because The Daily Show has been smarter than anyone in media and comedy for so many years, and you've been able to navigate all the political minefield. So, come on, man. Taylor, why has The Daily Show been such a pioneering entity that has changed the way that media is covered?
I'm a big fan of Ronnie. I got to be honest, don't think I've ever watched The Daily Show. Salute to you, Ronnie. I was a big Crazy Rich Asians fan, but not The Daily Show.
Thank you for all your hard work, Taylor.
The Chiefs already beat the Bills.
Ronnie, in all seriousness, it's a pioneering effort that you are doing daily as a correspondent for the show.
You can ask me about sports. We don't have to keep forcing these Daily Show comedy questions, man.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, that's why I wanted to, that's what I know you from, is from around the horn.
What do the Chiefs have to do to beat the Ravens? Different team.
Come on.
I messed the question up.
We need to stop going out to Taylor. We need to stop doing this because
is this live? Is this live or is this going to be edited?
No, it's live.
We can't edit this.
Well,
We're sorry.
Do you think it would be better?
Ronnie, I'm so sorry.
Do you think it would be better edited?
No, I don't think. I think if you're going to edit, probably should cut the whole thing.
Which is the sport that you like the best? Is it football or is it another sport? If I was asking you for serious analysis on a sport, what's your wheelhouse?
Yeah, hit me with basketball. Basketball is my wheel.
Well, last night was a great night in basketball. Like, what did you?
Embiid, KD hit the winner, and one more thing happened.
Karl Anthony Towns scored 62 points, and they lost because they shouldn't have been feeding Karl Anthony.
Yeah,
Towns.
I don't know. Is it the return of the centers? Is it the return of the low post game? I'm all for it. You know, I grew up with that, so that's the game I understand. I actually stopped watching basketball for like 8 years, and then when I tuned back in, I was like, why are the scores like 130 to 140? I remember when I first came back to basketball, I was like, whoa, what is going on? Like, no one's playing defense anymore. But hey, everyone's down with low post games. I love it.
But it's not just that, right? It's that the centers that you're used to doing it in the low post can also do it from three. That's why the games are in the 130s.
And I wonder, like, when you have Embiid like hitting 50 by like the third quarter, does the whole team just, does the coach just throw out the plan and just go, all right, we're just going to keep feeding him. It's the regular season. Let's just try to go for a record here. Or is that actually the game plan,
But do you believe in the idea that Embiid, as great as he is in the regular season, is obviously somebody, just look at him, who should be among the best players in basketball and should be someone who is championship worthy?
Yeah, sorry, what was the question? Yeah, he is that, yeah.
No, that people question Joel Embiid because they say you've never done it. You've never done it in the playoffs. You're somebody who can
people
score.
like me, Ronny.
You could score 70 in a game.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, he's pretty undeniable. What I think is interesting is that these non-Americans who are doing it in the league right now. I mean, Joel Embiid is Cameroonian, right? Like, so, and Jokic, obviously not American either. So I think that's interesting. I think the rise of the non-American games in the NBA. I don't know what that says about the development of basketball players here. Whether the AAU is just creating carbon copy. Everyone's playing kind of the same game and there's no individual flair. I don't know. But looking at what's happening there is undeniable, right? The rise of international players.
Why did you leave basketball for a few years?
Why did I? I think it's when I joined the Daily Show. I was so focused on not screwing it up that I actually stopped caring about sports and everything because I kind of recognized it felt like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I just put everything I had into it. So I didn't look up from my desk for like a few years. When I looked up, suddenly the scores were 150, 140. But you know what? I shared an office with Roy Wood Jr. at the Daily Show, and we would leave ESPN on in the background all the time. So I would see you and your dad talking, and it was great. So you kept us going through a lot of pretty heavy political days.
Well, one of the reasons that I want to talk to you, though, so much about the Daily Show, and I do appreciate that you want to talk about sports, is because I don't. Boy. All right, we've got to ask Taylor a question.
Go for it.
Taylor, go ahead and sit up as strong as you can and tell us who's going to be in the Super Bowl and why.
I have the Ravens and the 49ers, Lamar Jackson. This is the year that he gets over the hump. The 49ers have such a great defense. I love what Bosa's doing. I love what Fred Warner's doing. Brock Purdy, a lot of questions about him, but I think they have just enough to get the job done.
That's your dismount, just enough to get the job done, and you want a career in this industry. Job done, you end with a cliche.
He picked 2 number 1 seeds.
I mean, yeah, take the chalk, give me a bunch of cliches, and just be all superficial. I ride fast in a 100-mile-an-hour speedboat. The reason, Ronny, that I was talking to you about the Daily Show is I don't think people understand how hard it is to do that well, how much commitment, how obsessive it has to be, that you and Roy Wood are artists who have to craft something in a way that's really meticulous, and it's not easy, and you lose basketball as a hobby because you have to be good at it.
Well, that's very flattering. I mean, we're just comics, it's not I wouldn't put us on a pedestal like that. We're just doing a show. I mean, I don't even think sometimes when we do the show, I feel like we're doing it for ourselves in that sense. That's why when if Taylor hasn't seen it, like, yeah, I would be surprised if Taylor saw it. I'm glad he's a fan, but I'm always like, it feels like we're just doing the show for our own sensibilities. And then when other people watch it, we're always like, oh, that's a bonus, But it's very much a team effort thing. So I can't even really take credit for, what you're describing, that the energy and the diligence it takes. There's a whole team of producers at The Daily Show making it happen. Writers, producers, correspondents. So it's like a real collegiate family.
So surely, though, you have noticed, if you are sitting in that environment over the last few years with Roy Wood watching, the evolution of American politics, what would be your answer to why it is the NBA has gotten less popular because it's too woke?
Has it gotten less popular?
Allegedly.
I think culturally it's still in the zeitgeist. Part of it is that we don't have monoculture anymore, right? So whenever we have anything in American pop culture, it's competing with the internet, TikTok, YouTube. So when you say viewership numbers are down, objectively, I believe that, because people have more things to watch, right? We're watching more streaming services. We're watching. We don't think we need to watch games live anymore, right? We can watch it on demand. We watch highlights. But I think when it comes down to the regular, the playoffs and the finals, everyone's still watching it. Everyone still knows what's happening with NBA basketball. So this is it less popular? Yeah, in the sense that our culture has flattened and everyone's watching everything now. But that's not the fault of the NBA. Is what I'm trying to say.
You can see Ronny on his Love to Hate It tour. Again, Fort Lauderdale at the Parker, February 15th. Tampa at the Tampa Theater, February 16th. And Orlando at Hard Rock Orlando, February 17th. And you can go to RonnyChieng.com for more tour dates and tickets.
Ronny, I also apologize on the back end, though.
Well, we're going to have you on again and do it right and do it better without someone on a speedboat, okay? So if you would do us the courtesy of doing it again, because I botched the first 6 minutes of this. Maybe not.
Sure.
Maybe not.
Doesn't sound promising.
Doesn't sound promising.
No thanks.
It doesn't
cool.
sound.
We
Yeah,
understand.
I don't blame you if you don't. But thank you for this.
You with the first question.
Yes, I did lose you with the first question. Ronny, thank you for being on with us. Thank you for tolerating us.
No problem. I'm actually a big fan of you guys. So thanks for keeping it going. I love that.
You were.
You guys
still?
Yeah, you guys represent Miami. Love the show.
Thank you, Ronny.
Great to meet you.
And again, I'm sorry.
Nice to meet you, Taylor. Nice to see everyone in the studio.
See you later.
I thought that went well.
At Strayer University, we see you striving to work harder and go further. That's why we provide you with the tools you need to get there, like offering a brand new laptop when you enroll in a bachelor's program, so you can do your coursework anytime, anywhere, and always keep striving. Visit strayer.edu to learn more. Eligibility rules, restrictions, and exclusions apply. Connect with us for details. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.